given the record of the past, God knows, 10, 15 years, where's the hope? Doesn't it all seem hopeless, and yet you continue your work?
Well, first of all, let's just get one thing clear. There hasn't been a free and fair election in Russia in at least 16 years. In these regional elections, for instance, last year, the People's Freedom Party was prevented from participating in the elections in Novosibirsk, in Kaluga, in Magadan, in Nizhny Novgorod. And this is the usual picture. You have to understand that, as a rule, genuine, real opposition to the Kremlin is not even allowed to formally participate in the election process, and we're taken off the ballot ahead of time. In those few instances when the opposition is allowed to be on the ballot, we score pretty good results, such as when Boris Nemtsov won his legislative seat in Yaroslavl in 2013, or when Alexei Navalny received, even according to the official results, nearly 30% of the vote in Moscow in the mayoral election in 2013. So basically elections in Putin's Russia have been turned into a meaningless ritual to formalize the regime and to continue its stay in power. However, we believe, and I believe, and this is also from historical experience, that boycotts and passive posture never work. And I think we have to use even this bogus and sham and watered down election process as it exists today in order to try to get our message across to as many of our compatriots as we can, and also to help young, up-and-coming political opposition, civil society activists to gain some political experience by participating in these campaigns, to gain some reputation, to gain name recognition. So for instance, the Open Russia movement, of which I'm the national coordinator, has tried twice already last year, first on the municipal level in St. Petersburg and then on the regional level in Novosibirsk, to support candidates. And both times, candidates whom were supported, even again according to the official results, came in second place with more than 20% of the vote. This is a really far cry from the 1.5% or 2% for the opposition that the Kremlin would like people to believe. So this year we're preparing to support 10, 15, maybe 20 candidates for the State Duma in single-member districts across Russia, mostly in big cities, of course, but still across Russia. We're not talking about just Moscow. In order, again, to get our message across, this pro-democracy, pro-European alternative message to what the Kremlin is offering to as many people as we can, and to help our supporters, young opposition and civil society activists, to gain this experience, because nothing is forever, and this regime is not forever, and there will come a time when a new generation of pro-democracy Russians will have to take responsibility for the country, and we want to start getting them ready for that today.